Sonic, the heart of your system.
Walking through one of the suites at CES 2020, I bumped into Roman, Der Bauer, yesterday in a presentation with ASUS or ASUS, and he's going to tell me which is the correct pronunciation. We saw one little slide about thermal grizzly in laptops, liquid metal. He's now going to tell me all about it because Roman is a part of thermal grizzly and as far as I'm concerned is the king of liquid metal. I've literally never seen him silence before. The first question for me, ASUS, is it ASUS or is it ASUS? And why would they use liquid metal in a laptop?
It's ASUS because it comes from Pegasus.
Right.
And then it's ASUS, not ASUS. But I would also always say ASUS, so it doesn't really matter, I think.
Either.
What was the liquid metal question again?
Liquid metal in a laptop.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, first of all, it's performance, because nowadays we get to so much more higher power density of the CPUs that a thermal solution really becomes the problem. And the traditional thermal paste is also really a limit. You lose like 5, 6, 7 degrees Celsius compared to the liquid metal. A lot of people are applying liquid metal afterwards when they buy a notebook. Yep. A lot of people do that. But it's also it's also very tricky because you have to prepare the components around it, because if you spill the liquid metal onto the CPU, onto any components, because it's electrically conductive, you can get a short circuit. Therefore, if the notebook is prepared for liquid metal from the factory, it's a lot easier. We've been working with different notebook manufacturers before on that. HP was the first one, and they had the Omen X2S. And the solution there was that they made basically a very thick double-sided adhesive tape around the CPU.
So a wear?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Right.
And therefore sealing off the CPU and the heatsink, and then just applied really a lot of liquid metal in between. So you really had something that was surrounding the CPU like normal thermal paste, which is not the ideal solution. But for them in mass production, it was a lot easier to just have the double-sided adhesive tape and then apply a lot of liquid metal. As far as I know, ASUS was doing manual application really for their first prototypes. The first notebooks they did was early last year. They made several hundred units, and because it was only very high-end notebooks, they made it with manual application, so the typical just swiping it on with your rubber stick and...
Right. So the technique usually is it's like one little drop, black little stick, very, very careful, use as little as possible and so on and so forth. You reapply it every so often, cautious. The idea of a lake of the stuff by HP, this is almost wow.
Yeah, I mean, for us it's cool. Use as much as you want. The more you use, the better, But I mean, from a technical point of view, it would be better to use less and have a perfect connection between the CPU and the heatsink. You don't really need that much. Right. One key aspect, or one very important aspect, is also that the heatsink is nickel plated. Right. Most of the notebooks you can buy, if they use conventional thermal paste, they just have naked copper.
Yes.
And the gallium inside liquid metal is corrosive, also corrosive to copper, which is not really a problem, but it will look like it dried out. Right. But basically it's forming an alloy. Which means that you have to reapply thermal paste or the liquid metal after, 1 or 2 months. Right. You have to do that 2 or 3 times. And then there is enough gallium inside the copper that it's not drying out anymore, but you have to reapply it several times.
It kind of soaks into the copper.
Yes, correctly. That's why you need nickel plating as like a diffusion barrier. Right. So the gallium cannot go into the copper. And ASUS and also HP, they are following the advice, and then they are using nickel plating on the heatsink, and then it's fine.
And in terms of longevity, warranty and all the rest of it, is it essentially infinite life as long as they've manufactured it correctly in the first place?
Yes, absolutely. There is no, it will not dry out because it's a normal, it's a metal alloy. So as long as the temperature is fine, it will not dry out. And as long as the metal cannot kind of soak up the liquid metal, then you're good.
The idea of a sponge for liquid metal is terrifying. Are we talking 45-watt CPUs, or are we talking desktop parts inside laptops?
It's only, as far as I know, those typical 45-watt parts like 9750H, 9980HK, and those CPUs, yeah.
And have you by any chance done any development on future generations of laptop processors?
So far, no.
So near but yet so far. Excellent, thank you very much.
You're very welcome.
Truly the strict dope on liquid metal inside laptops from the man himself, Der Auer. Thank you very much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Obviously head over to Der Auer's channel. The man's doing horribly well with his technical videos in both English and German naturally. And you notice the German videos are always longer than the English videos by about 1 minute. That's a fact. I'm the order for Kit Guru with Roman Der Auer at CES 2020.
Thanks for having me, and the 1 minute is mainly because we add a lot of advertising in the German video.
I didn't know that. I thought it was just a bloody word.
No,
Thank you
actually-
very much. I appreciate it.